Hello all, welcome to the sessions on wired LANs, Ethernet. So now we are going to discuss about the fast Ethernet. So we know this fast Ethernet is designed to compete with the local area network protocols, which is like we are trying to make use of the fiber distributed data interface, which is FDDI or fiber channel. So there are few protocols that are already existing in local area network, like your FDDI. So it's a standard protocol which is used for data transmission in local area network. So then under this particular design, we have the IEEE standard or a forum which has created fast Ethernet under the name 802.3u. Fast Ethernet, it is backward compatible with standard Ethernet, but it can transmit data at a 10 times fastest rate when compared with that of the standard Ethernet, and which supports a data rate of 100 Mbps. The goals of the fast Ethernet are: one is to upgrade the data rate to 100 Mbps. Then we have to make it compatible even with the standard Ethernet which is already existing, and then we need to keep the address bits, the number of address bits which was 48-bit address in your standard Ethernet, the same thing has to be kept as it is, and we have to maintain the same frame format which we have made use in our standard Ethernet, and then we need to also keep the same minimum and maximum length of the frames. Then moving on to what are the topics that are being discussed here in our fast Ethernet is, we are trying to discuss about the MAC sub layer as well as the physical layer. So the main consideration in this evolution of Ethernet from 10 to 100 Mbps, it was to keep the MAC sub layer untouched, which means instead of making use of bus topology, we are trying to keep back or retain back the same star topology. Again, when it comes for star topology, we have seen two kinds of approaches. One is half duplex approach, one more is the full duplex. So in half duplex, we have seen that the stations are connected via a hub, and in full duplex approach, the connection is made via a switch with a buffer at each port. So, and moving on for one more topic that has to be discussed is, in half duplex approach, we were having an access method like CSMA CD which was considered, and for full duplex fast Ethernet, there is no need for CSMA CD even in case of half duplex approach. And when it comes for the implementation, so we have to have the CSMA CD for CSMA CD need not be present for both your half duplex approach nor for your full duplex approach. It remains the same as it was earlier present in case of your MAC sub layer of the standard Ethernet. Along with all these properties like communicating with the help of a star topology, with the help of a half duplex approach or a full duplex methodology, and then having a CSMA CD for half duplex and having not having a CSMA CD for full duplex. So all this remains the same. Along with this, one add-on thing is it provides a feature which is called as auto negotiation. Auto negotiation basically refers to compromising something between, or having compromising or having something common between two devices, or two devices has to be compatible with each other in order to have the data being transferred or the operation has to perform. If any kind of data operation has to be done, then the speed or then the kind of technology that is used between two stations or two devices has to remain the same. So that is what is we call it as negotiation. So we have one added feature in the fast Ethernet which is auto negotiation. So it was basically designed particularly for some of the purposes. So let us now look at what are those purposes. One is, this auto negotiation helps us to have one thing, that is it allows incompatible devices to connect to each other. So when I say incompatible devices, I can have a device which is working fine with my standard Ethernet, which is of 10 Mbps, I can help the device to communicate with one more device which is compatible with 100 Mbps. Means a standard Ethernet device which was compatible, I can make that to be working with or communicating with an 100 Mbps device. Then along with this, it has got next purpose or next property. What is that? Is to allow one device to have multiple capabilities. It can allow one device to have multiple capabilities. Right, and then one more thing is, any device which is already existing, it will allow a station to check a hub's capabilities. It will allow us to also check the hub's capabilities. So any station, if it wants to know whether there is a space for that particular device to get connected, so it will allow the station to check for such kind of capabilities and then further find the link for that exchange of data. So coming for the implementation of the fast Ethernet, as already discussed, it can have two types of communication. If there are only two stations, they can be connected with a point to point kind of communication, and if there are three or more stations, then they can get connected to each other with the help of a star topology. And as you can see here, all the stations are getting connected to switch, and then they are trying to get connected to the next neighboring station. So that is how we have the star topology helping us to have the communication being set up between two or more stations which are existing in a fast Ethernet implementation. Then moving on to the implementation of the fast Ethernet. So the implementation of the fast Ethernet at the physical layer, which can be done in which can be categorized as follows, as either 2-wired or 4-wired kind of categorization. First thing, it can be of 2-wire kind of communication, or it can be of construction, or of 4-wire kind of construction. So in 2-wire implementation, again it can be further classified as 5 UTP, that is category 5 unshielded twisted pair, or it can be basically a fiber optic cable, as you can see that is present in our 100BX FX. So one is, it can have a category 5 UTP, or it can have a fiber optic cable which is 100 base FX. Then we also have a 4-wired kind of implementation, which is category 3 unshielded twisted pair cable. So that's how we have the 3 implementations of the fast Ethernet, which is done at the physical layer. Then moving on for the encoding process that is used in the implementation of these fast Ethernet, we are trying to make use of a Manchester encoding which needs a 200 mega baud rate bandwidth. So the Manchester encoding process is being used, which is basically in need of 200 mega baud bandwidth for a data rate of 100 Mbps. When I say 200 mega baud basically refers to the symbol rate, the speed with which the symbols can get transmitted from one station to another station. So that is measured as a term baud. So it is making use of 200 mega baud bandwidth for the data rate of 100 megabits per second. So you can just imagine the fastest movement of the data, or the fastest streaming of live streaming or gaming applications can be run by making use of such kind of technologies which are implemented in the fast Ethernet. So which makes it unsuitable for a medium such as twisted pair cable. So that is why, for this particular reason, that we cannot make use of this kind of baud rate, highest bandwidth baud rate in the twisted pair cable. We are moving for fast Ethernet thing, where we can implement, where we can try to make use of such kind of encoding schemes. coming for the very first implementation, which is 100 base TX, it uses two pairs of twisted pair cable, that is, as we have shown that, or as we have already said, that it is category 5 type of UTP, or it can also be category 5 type of STP. UTP and STP basically stands for shielded twisted pair, unshielded twisted pair. So we are trying to make use of such kind of implementation for this particular 100 base TX, and that is why the name TX here. And then moving on, for you can see there it is going to make use of a 4B bar or 4B/5B block coding. So 4B or 5B refers to 4-bit or 5-bit block coding is used in order to provide bit synchronization by preventing the continuous generation of or long sequence of zeros and ones. And then we have the next thing, which is MLT3 encoder. MLT basically stands for multi-level transmit 3 scheme. What is the scheme is meant for is it has got good bandwidth performance. So in order to make use of the best utilization of the bandwidth that is available, we are also making use of MLT3 encoder. And then this multi-level transmit, it makes use of 3 voltage levels like +1, 0 and -1, which is again a line coding technique, which is specially used for data transmission, or which is specially or used in signaling methods in telecommunication systems for transmission purposes. So it, as already told, it is going to make use of 3 voltage level. So this one advantage of your MLT3 is MLT3 interface emits less electromagnetic interference signals and requires less bandwidth when compared to the other kinds of line coding mechanisms that are already existing, like binary and ternary interfaces, which are present and which are again going to work along with the Manchester codes or alternate mark inversion codes. So we prefer that MLT is the one best suited for the good utilization of the bandwidth, and we have implemented this using MLT3. So on the same lines, on the other side you have MLT3 decoder, 4/5-bit decoder, and then we have the further transmitter receiver part, and this is the transmitter part. So you can see the transmitter part, it is now transmitting the data at a rate of 4 × 25 megabits per second, which means I can have all the 4 lines making use of the available 100 megabits of data as 25 Mbps, 25, 25 and 25 Mbps for each kind of connections. The next kind of fast Ethernet implementation is 100 base FX. So what is this 100 base FX is having is, at the transmitter end, again it is like 4 × 25 Mbps of the data which is getting transmitted. And one thing that is common is the block encoder and decoder methodologies are same, but when compared to the other kind of encoder and decoder methodology, we have one more thing, which is non-return to zero L. So what is this non-return to zero level is, it is a data encoding scheme which is where we are actually trying to make use of the negative voltage which is used to represent binary 1 and a positive voltage level which is used to represent binary 0. So this NRZL maintains a constant voltage pulse for a duration of a bit time that we are trying to consider. So that is the thing about your NRZ. So in this we basically have, or in this base FX, we are going to make use of 2 pairs of fiber optic cables. The optical fiber cables, as we know, it can handle high bandwidth requirements or it can handle high data rates, and by using very simple schemes we can implement the optic fiber data transmission. And the designer here is always stressing on the simple implementation of the encoding mechanisms like NRZL. And then in your NRZ, we have a bit synchronization problem for the long sequence of zeros or ones that has been generated. In order to overcome this particular issue, the designers are basically making use of these block encoder and decoder blocks. So where we have seen that block encoding actually increases the bit rate, which is from 100 to 125 Mbps, which can be actually easily handled by the fiber optic cable. So that is where your 100 base FX is helpful for us in handling the high data rate transmission. The next method which is available is 100 base T4, which is a new standard, and it is designed to use category 3 or higher UTP. This implementation makes use of 4 pairs of UTP for transmitting 100 Mbps of data, and then encoding or decoding in 100 base T4 is more complicated. Why it is more complicated is because this implementation uses category 3 UTP is one thing, and then each twisted pair cannot easily handle more than 25 megabaud. So if at all there are 4 twisted pairs, then it can make use of 25 megabaud. That is like 25 into 4 will give us 100 megabits per second data transmission. But now if it is only 3, these 3 will be making use of 3 into 25, which is 75 megabaud bandwidth, so which is not actually sufficient. So we need to make use of an encoding scheme that converts 100 megabits per second to a 75 megabaud signal. So one encoding scheme which satisfied this particular kind of technology or this particular kind of requirement is your 8B bar 60. What is this 8B bar 60? 8B bar 60 means it is a data encoding technique, which is the transmission of, it means we are going to transmit 8 data bits as 6 ternary signals, or it is like one of 3 voltage levels. When I say 6 ternary signals, it can be +1, -1, or it can be 0. So those 8 data bits are now trying to convert into 6 ternary signals. So that is being achieved by this kind of encoder or decoder implementation. So in 8B bar 60, 8 data elements are encoded as 6 signal elements. This means 100 Mbps uses 6 bar 8 into 100 Mbps, or it is in terms of signal it is 75 megabaud signals. So that is about the 100 base T4. And one more thing that you can see here is we are having 3 UTP or 3 pairs of UTP category 3, which is running between which is common between the encoder section and the decoder section. Like 2 transmitters are common for or commonly connected to one particular UTP, and one transmitter, one receiver is connected to one UTP, one transmitter, one receiver is getting connected to one more UTP. So that is how we are, instead of having 4 different kind of twisted pair cables for 4 transmitter and 4 receiver, we are trying to manage within the available number of UTP cables that are there. So that is your 100 base T4. Then moving on to the next summary of the fast Ethernet implementation. So we have seen that the media that is used in case of 100 base TX is category 5 UTP or STP, 100 base FX is your optical fiber cable, and then 100 base T4 is category 4 UTP, sorry, it is category 3 UTP but of 4 twisted pair cables, and the number of wires in the first 2 is 2 and the number of wires in the last T4 is 4. Maximum length that is being supported here is 100 meters for all the 3, and then the block encoding method 8B bar 5B, 8B bar 5B, and the block encoding method here we are not implementing that block encoding method. Instead our main aim is to convert that given signal data into a convert the signal bits or data bits into a signal, which is done by making use of a line coding technique, which is 8 bit bar 6 ternary code. And then in FX we are going to make use of your NRZ. In your 100 base TX we are trying to implement it using your multi-level transmit 3. So that is about the implementation. We have discussed about the fast Ethernet, and then the topics concerned with the MAC sub layer, and then the topics that are concerned with the physical layer implementation of the fast Ethernet, which are categorized in 3 types: 100 base TX, 100 base FX, 100 base T4. Thank you.